Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another subscriber requested video for you. So I was recently asked to talk about my 15 for life fragrances. So I've got 15 here and I've got one honorable mention because I tried to only include fragrances that are available as of right now. I tried not to put any discontinued fragrances in here. But I do have a few, so because I just couldn't leave them out. But anyways, this is my list of 15 as of right this moment. This list does change periodically, but these are 15 fragrances here that I could not live without and would not want to live without. And I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start with an Hermes fragrance, and this is a fragrance that I could not live without in hot weather. This would be one of my hot weather fragrances for sure. This is Hermes Un Jardin sur le Toit, and this is just the most beautiful, classy, classic rose, pear. It's got like a green grass and a compost note in it. It's very slightly sweet from the pear, but it's more of like a fresh, crisp scent. The rose is very, very present, but it's a very fresh, crisp rose. It's not like an old-fashioned red rose, or it's not an old-fashioned rose at all. It's a very modern, fresh, but very realistic smelling, like crisp rose. You get a really beautiful fresh pear note, and you kind of smell the pear, but you mostly just get a tad of the sweetness from the pear. And then again, it's got like a green grass note in it. It's got a compost note in it, so it's got some grounded notes in the base. It's absolutely stunning. It lasts forever on. This is one of those fragrances that you'll smell like this until you wash it off, which is one of the reasons I love it so much. And it's just an incredible hot weather scent that I would not be able to live without. So that is Un Jardin sur le Toit from Hermes. And then sticking with the kind of fresh scents, like what my hot weather scents would be, Issey Miyake L'Eau d'Issey. This is a fragrance that has been around for so long. This came out, I believe, in the early 90s. I still love this to this day. This is the most beautiful, sweet, fresh, aquatic scent. It's a floral, but again, it's a really fresh, crisp floral. I have no idea where the sweetness comes from in this, but it is pretty sweet, but not sickening sweet, and not sweet in like a gourmand or a candy-like way. It's really, really fresh, very clean, again, very classy, classic smelling. This is a scent that has been around for a very long time and is still going strong. And for a good reason. It is absolutely stunning. It's such a classic, iconic fragrance at this point, and I would not want to live without this one. This would definitely be one of my hot weather scents if I could only have 15 fragrances. So that is Issey Miyake L'Eau d'Issey. And then my third hot weather fragrance would be this one here from Moschino. This is Moschino I Love Love, and this one is so stunning. This is bright, fresh, crisp, tart orange. It's got a tea rose note in it. It's got some kind of a woody note in the base. I think it's like Tanaka wood in the base. It is so stunning. It is a little bit similar to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, but this is way, way better than Light Blue. This has more depth to it than Light Blue does. This is just, it's absolutely stunning. It's one of the most tart orange fragrances I think I've ever smelled. It does have a really beautiful kind of perfuminess to it though. This is another one that I just think is classic. It's iconic, it's classic, it's so stunning. It took that Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue scent profile and just made it so much better. I would not want to live without this scent. All of these scents that I'm talking about, part of the reason why I love them so much is because they perform so, so well. This one is no exception. This is a like 12 plus hour at least kind of fragrance. So anyways, that is Moschino, I Love Love. Kind of an old signature of mine. Okay, I could not live without Dior Addict. Even the brand new formulation, I love this scent. I think it is stunning. It's funny because I knew that this had tonka in it, and I said in my last video that I don't know why it's not listed in the notes, that I just feel very strongly that this has tonka in it. I can smell it. And somebody did say, yes, the note breakdown on Fragrantica is not complete. This does have tonka in the base. I knew I was not crazy. So I'll pull the notes, I'll pull the note list off of like maybe their website, and hopefully that would be accurate because I know this has tonka in it. But anyways, I could not live without Dior Addict. This is beautiful. For me, this one can be worn all year round, but I do really enjoy this more in colder weather. And this is another one that's just been around for a very long time. It is classy, classic. It's sweet, vanilla, jasmine, tonka bean. It's deep and rich and just such an iconic fragrance, and I could not live without this. It would come down to either this or Manifesto, and I do think if I had to choose, I would choose Addict, even though I adore Manifesto. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time, but I think if I had to choose, I would choose Addict just because it's a little bit richer and a little bit more heavy than Manifesto. So anyways, that is Dior Addict. Okay, this next one, I almost wasn't gonna include this because I don't think you can even get this fragrance anymore. I don't know why they aren't making this fragrance because it is fantastic, but this is from Oscar de la Renta, and this is Oscar de la Renta Lavender. I don't know if they're still making this or not. I do have a backup bottle of this thanks to Sweet Velvet, but this is absolutely a lifer fragrance for me. I would not want to have a perfume collection without this in it. This is a beautiful, sweet, milky lavender scent. This is one of my favorite bedtime scents. This one is one of the only ones on this list that doesn't perform super well, but I do not care because this is probably my favorite lavender scent of all time. I love this. There is nothing more cozy or comforting than sweet, creamy lavender, and there has to be vanilla in this. It smells like vanilla. It's like sweet vanilla. It is absolutely stunning. I would not want to live without this one, but yeah, I almost didn't include it because I'm pretty sure it's been discontinued. It's really hard to find. If you can find it, it's very expensive, but man, it's one of my favorite perfumes ever, so I couldn't leave it off the list. So anyways, that is Oscar de la Renta Lavender. And it makes me sick too because I just know, I'm just certain that there was a time that you could find this in like TJ Maxx or Ross or something for like $7.99. And if I had known back then, I would have picked up every single bottle I could find. Oh gosh, it's just so good. Okay, this next one, this is one of the vanillas that I would not be able to live without. This is Guerlain. This is another one that you can't get this one anymore, but there are other Guerlain fragrances that are similar to this. But this is Guerlain Shalimar Millesime Vanilla Planifolia, and this is one of the vanillas in my collection that I would not be able to live without. This is a vanilla, but make it Guerlain. It's so stunning. It's such a syrupy, sweet, rich vanilla. You get like a touch of the Shalimar scent profile, but not a ton. This is it's so vanilla heavy. You definitely get the Shalimar, but it's very, very light and in the background. This is very much a sweet vanilla scent, but it's a Guerlain sweet vanilla scent. It just smells like Guerlain. It is absolutely stunning. This thing lasts forever on me. This was the only fragrance that I took with me when I went to Georgia because this is just an easy reach for me. It's a no-brainer. I don't have to think about it. I have a dupe oil from Generic Perfumes, that I absolutely adore too. Their dupe oil smells identical to this. So I need to pull out my dupe oil and start wearing that some more because I cannot find another bottle. Well, I could probably find another bottle of this, but it would be very, very expensive. So though I will wear this one and enjoy it, it's not one that I want to like blow through super quickly. But anyways, yeah, that is the only Guerlain that I pulled for this list, but this is one that I could not live without. It's one of my favorite vanillas in my collection, one of my favorite Guerlains in my collection. So that is Guerlain Shalimar Millesime Vanilla Planifolia. I do keep that one in its little box, just to kind of keep it protected. Okay, there are a couple of there are a few untamed fragrances that I would not want to live without, but my top one would be Mevlana. This is another just easy reach for me. Don't have to think about it. This is one that I love everything about this fragrance. This is spicy cardamom and rose, and it's got sweet vanilla powdered sugar in the base. It's got Turkish coffee in it. It's got incense in it. It's got Greek mastic in it. It is warm. It's warm and stunning. I think it's supposed to mimic the inside of like a Greek coffee house, or like a coffee cafe in Greece. It is absolutely stunning. I could not live without this. This thing is an absolute beast on me. It's an easy reach, no brainer. I would not want to live without this fragrance in my collection, and it's an absolute stunner. It's definitely like a lifer perfume for me. Cannot live without. So anyways, that is Untamed Mevlana. Another one, this will be no surprise to any of you. This is Like This from Etat Libre d'Orange. I absolutely adore this fragrance. There's something so cozy and comforting about this. This is ginger and pumpkin and immortelle and vetiver. It's a tiny bit sweet. It's very warm, cozy. It smells like a home. It is absolutely stunning. It smells like a home that you walk into and they've just maybe roasted something really beautiful in the oven, and they've got some really like, I don't know, high-end like home fragrance, like reed diffuser, like maybe something from Nest that is like $100 for a diffuser and it just smells so expensive. It's amazing. I love this scent. I say it every time I talk about it because I rave about this. And I don't want people to buy it thinking that it's like, you know, the next best thing, or that it is super unique or super groundbreaking. Even though I do think it's unique and I do think it's kind of groundbreaking, I also don't think it's anything super, super special. So if you love this perfume the way that I do, I think you get it. If you don't, I can totally understand that too, because it's not anything that's like overly special, but I love it. I love everything about it. I get compliments on this every time I wear it too. It's definitely like a crowd pleaser kind of scent. And I think because it does smell like home or something, it's incredible. I could not live without this one. This is one that, thank goodness, I have a backup bottle of. Again, because of Sweet Velvet, she sent me another big bottle of this, and I will cherish it because this is one of my favorite fragrances of life. I could not live without this. And you can see if I've got a dent that big in it, I definitely love it and wear it a ton because I've got so many fragrances in my collection. It's very hard for me to actually make a lot of progress with a lot of my fragrances. So anyways, that is Etat Libre d'Orange, Like This. This next one, this would be the Gourmand that I would have to have in my collection that I could not live without. This is Gallagher Wicked Good, and this is chocolate, Madagascar, vanilla, and tonka bean. I absolutely adore this fragrance. This is one of my favorite Gourmands of all time. This is my favorite chocolate fragrance that I have ever smelled. This is like the perfect balance of chocolate and tonka bean, and then a little bit of vanilla to kind of sweeten everything up. It is so yummy, so cozy. This can be worn by itself. You can use this to layer with. A lot of the time I layer this over my Al Rahab Choco Musk oil. Oh my gosh, and it is perfection. It's so beautiful. I couldn't live without this scent. This is a fragrance that I really do need to buy myself a backup bottle of this because I'm obsessed with this scent. I wear it a lot. I actually haven't worn this one a ton, I would say like in the last year, and I don't know why. This one's staying out though because I will definitely be wearing this before I put it away because it's one of my favorite fragrances of life. Could not live without it. So anyways, that is Gallagher Fragrances Wicked Good. There are quite a few Dream House of Curio scents that I would not want to live without, but if I have to really, really narrow it down, this is the one that I could not live without. This is the first Dream House of Curio scent that I ever got in my collection because sweet Tatiana sent this over to me, and I'm obsessed with it, and I have been obsessed with it ever since. This is what started my obsession with Dream House of Curio. This is White Rabbit. This is the original formulation. It has been reformulated. The reformulated version smells just as good. It is, I really can't tell a difference between the two. This is the most beautiful, like kind of vintage leaning white floral. So think like Amarige. Think Givenchy Amarige, but Amarige dries down to be Gourmand because that's what this is. It starts out like Givenchy Amarige, where it's this beautiful, very, very slightly indolic, like white floral. There's like a caramel note in the background that's always there. And then it dries down to be the most beautiful kind of like caramel white floral. This is a masterpiece. It is perfection. It's everything that I love in a fragrance, and I could not live without this. This is a fragrance that I would not want to live without. Blood Cherry Cordial is another one. There are definitely like a few. Everyone and Then Again is another one. Those are all fragrances I would not want to live without, but this is the one that I could not live without. This, I would have to have this in my collection. This is an easy reach for me. This is my scent in a bottle. It's like right up my alley. I absolutely adore it. So that is Dream House of Curio White Rabbit. Okay, and then this one, this is a Duo scent. This is the original formulation of a fragrance that has been reformulated, and I think it's called something else now. But this is the formulation that I would not be able to live without, and since Duo makes it, I don't think that they are probably going to discontinue it anytime soon. This would be, besides Guerlain, this would be the vanilla in my collection that I could not live without. This is the fragrance from Duo called Vanille de Madagascar, and this is a dupe of Farmacia SS Annunziata Vanilla del Madagascar, I think. And again, they've reformulated it and it's something else, but this is the one. My sweet fragrance friend Susan sent me a decant. She sent me a couple decants because I fell so hard in love with it. And I finally just went ahead and picked up the Duo dupe because I knew I wanted a full bottle, and I knew I wasn't going to find a bottle of the original formulation, and I knew I didn't want to buy the reformulated version. And I love this. This is a really beautiful, almost kind of simplistic smelling vanilla, but that has a really beautiful kind of clean perfuminess to it that isn't too gourmand. And I love it. It's like a kind of like a perfumey vanilla extract that smells like a creamy, sweet vanilla on skin, but it doesn't go too far into gourmand territory. So it's not like an overly edible smelling vanilla. I absolutely love it. I have been obsessed with this fragrance ever since she sent me those decants. This is one that I've never been able to get out of my head, and I could not rest until I had this in my collection, and this is one that I could not live without. This is one of the many, many vanilla fragrances that I have that I would not be able to live without. So anyways, that is Duavini de Madagascar. Okay, this next one I'm not going to spend too much time on because I talk about this fragrance all the time. It will be no surprise to any of you. This is YSL Libre Intense, and I love this. I have every formulation that they make. This is my favorite one by far. It's funny because every time they come out with another flanker, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like this one more than Intense. It never happens. I just love I love this syrupiness of this one. I love the sweetness of this one. I love the honeyed aspect of this one. I just love everything about this version of this fragrance, and I just don't think that they're ever going to be able to top this one. So if I had to pick just one Libre to have in my collection for the rest of my life, it would definitely be in the Intense formulation. I can wear this all year round. This is a super easy reach for me. There's something so beautiful about this because there is almost like a masculine quality to this. I smell an aspect of the original Polo Sport for men in the blue bottle that was really popular like in the late 90s. I can smell like an aspect of that in this, and I just love it. But it is super feminine, leans very feminine. But there is this really, really interesting, almost kind of masculine quality to it that I'm just obsessed with, and I have been ever since this fragrance came out. Ever since I first got my nose on Libre, I've just been obsessed. So anyways, that is YSL Libre Intense. Okay, this next one, this is the rose slash floral that I would have to have in my collection that I could not live without. This is just the original Chloe, or I should say the modern original Chloe, because we all know there's Chloe, the Karl Lagerfeld Chloe from, you know, the 90s. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this perfume. This is a perfect rose. This is a masterpiece rose. This is sweet, fresh, crisp rose. It's super, super modern smelling. It's very, very classy smelling. This is definitely signature scent worthy. This is a fragrance that I could wear every day for the rest of my life and I would be happy. It smells expensive. I just absolutely love it. I've got a freaking silver polishing cloth and I've got to polish this. I forget though. But yeah, I love this fragrance. It is perfection to me. This is a masterpiece to me. It's funny because when I was in Georgia visiting Jacqueline, we went to Ulta and we were smelling perfumes, and we both absolutely fell in love with the Intense version of this. I think it's a new one. The ribbon on it is red, and we both sprayed it and we were both just like, oh my gosh, it's like another masterpiece. And it's totally different from this Chloe, but also kind of the same. It is so good. That and the Burberry Goddess Intense. I have got to get Burberry Goddess Intense. It is a fantastic fragrance. But anyways, yeah, this is a masterpiece rose. This is a masterpiece floral. I could not live without this. This would be one of the florals that I would keep in my collection. So that is Chloe, just Chloe EDP. Okay, you guys know I would have to have a clean white musk in my collection, and this is the fragrance that I would choose. This is Lake and Sky 1111. This is white amber and white musk, and to me, this is a masterpiece white musk fragrance. It would have to be either this or Smells Like a Staro. Either one, I could interchange either one. I would be happy with either one, but I am obsessed with this perfume. I cannot believe how much of this I have used. I've only got like half of my rollerball left. I do prefer the oil in this scent over the spray perfume just because I feel like the oil performs better. There's something about how this warms on the skin. It's beautiful. It's like a clean white musk, but super, super warm and sweet. It's perfection, absolute perfection. Could not live without this. Don't ever want to live without this. This is one of my favorite perfumes of all time. So that is Lake and Sky 1111. I really am interested in the 1111 vanilla one, but somebody told me that it's not, that it smells pretty much identical to the original 1111s and that it's just really not worth having both of them, that one or the other is fine. So hopefully I can get my nose on it one of these days, but I don't really want to buy it for that reason. Maybe I'll pick that up when I need to, like when I run out of this and I have to restock. Maybe I'll pick that one up. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, and then last but not least, I have one honorable mention, but last but not least, I have Black Opium from YSL, but this is the Le Parfum formulation. I would have to have a version of Black Opium in my collection because it's iconic, it's beautiful, but this is the best formulation out of all of them, in my opinion. I love the Le Parfum. This is like really, really heavy on the vanilla. To me, this one is longer lasting, it's richer smelling, it's a little bit sweeter. This one almost leans into Gourmand territory, or actually not almost. This one definitely leans into Gourmand territory, but it's not, I wouldn't consider it a Gourmand scent. You still get a little bit of the coffee. I would say about the same amount of coffee that you get in any of the other ones. I love this one. This version is perfection. I need to pick up a full bottle of this because I do not have very much of this travel spray left. I love this scent. This is one that, I would not want to live without having in my collection. And I think Black Opium, I think just having a version of Black Opium in general in your collection is, worth it. This one is the best though, hands down the best. So that is YSL Black Opium Le Parfum. The only reason I didn't include this is because this is discontinued. I don't think it's like super hard to find. I'm sure you can find this on the gray market pretty easily, but it's probably very expensive. But this is a version of Angel that I would not want to live without. This is Mugler Angel Muse, and I absolutely adore this scent. This one smells so good on me. This one has got like a kind of like a light hazelnut note in it. It smells like Angel. It definitely has that Angel scent profile, and I do think this has got some patchouli in it, but not nearly the amount of patchouli that the original has. This one is a little bit sweeter. Again, this is almost leaning into Gourmand territory. It smells like Angel, but it's just different enough that it definitely smells like it's its own fragrance. It is a stunner. I get compliments every time I wear this because it smells like magic on my skin. I'm so excited because my husband, for my birthday, he asked me what I wanted and I sent him a link to an eBay listing for the Angel Liqueur fragrance that I've been wanting for a long time, and I found a bottle on eBay for a really reasonable price, and I think he even offered him a little bit less, and they took it because I told him to. I was like, the listing has been on there forever. I would offer him a little bit less and see if they take it, and he did, and they did, and I am so excited. I cannot wait to get that fragrance. It's one that has been on my list for ages. But anyways, this is the Angel that I could not live without, that I would definitely want in my collection. You can see I barely have any dents in this at all either because it is so strong. I only need to put like 2 sprays of this on and I will smell like this for 24 hours. It is so strong, so long lasting. Just such a beautiful, beautiful formulation of Angel. So anyways, that is the honorable mention. That is Mugler Angel Muse. And that is going to be it, guys. Those are 15 fragrances in my collection right now that I would not be able to live without. I would love to hear your fragrances that would make your top 15 things that you could not live without. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.